McCarthy Insurance Group, serving the community for over 70 years. For home, farm, motor, life, health and business insurance, log on to mig.ie or free phone 1800 50 11 11. Probably your best call in 2024. Charles McCarthy Insurance is trading as McCarthy Insurance Group, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Real people, real opinions. Real Talk Radio. The multi-award-winning Niall Boylan Show.
My guests in the studio tonight, something a little bit quirky for you. Being Around is a family skincare business which was founded in 2021 by Simon Ashling Wood, who joined me in the studio. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
See, look, isn't it good to have that kind of female interaction in the show? It lightens up the whole show, doesn't it? Anyway, Simon Ashling, you're very welcome. And firstly, let's talk about Being Around. All of his products are made 100% of repurposed coffee grounds. Now, I don't even drink coffee, but it just sounds interesting. So, I don't know, one of you can tell me how you came about this. Did one of you have particularly bad skin that you decided, I need to make something to fix this?
Well, it was actually our dad who had the bad skin. So our dad actually suffers from psoriasis, and he read a report that said coffee grounds are really good for helping psoriasis. So he just started making his own concoction of coffee grinds and soap.
Okay.
And obviously, as a young girl in Ireland, I love to wear fake tan. And it was the first night out after COVID. Obviously, the old tan mitt had been thrown out.
I got to get you, Aisling, just to move yourself around to that microphone and talk into it. Yeah, that'd be great. We get it into the front of the microphone, so to speak. It's because somebody turned it sideways. Sorry, I do apologise.
Sorry. So my tanning mitt had been thrown out, so I asked my dad, could I borrow his coffee grinds and just see if it took off my old tan, and it worked great.
All right.
So that's when we kind of decided we had a bit of a product there.
Right, okay. So who grinds up the coffee beans, and where do you get these coffee beans?
Well, originally it started, we got a coffee machine during COVID because we all love coffee. And originally it just started with our coffee machine. And then when we kind of realised we had a bit of a product there, we decided to go to some of our local coffee shops and ask, could we take their grinds for free? Because they have to pay to get it taken away, and it's just waste for them. So we started taking their grinds and using their grinds. And then in return, they would take our bars and sell our bars in their stores. So that's kind of how it all started into an actual business.
Okay, so almost like a barter system of some description.
Exactly, yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of barter systems, actually, somebody's texted in and they want to know, is this a paid advertisement and am I getting a backhander? Yes, absolutely. Simon Ashling have promised me $70,000 a year for 3 appearances, as long as I make 3 appearances, and it'll be done through some dodgy invoice in a company in England or something like that. Don't be so stupid. No, it's not. It's just an interesting story. Anyway, and how's the business going? Is it going well?
It's going really well. We've entered the Super Value Food Academy, so we're now supplying some Super Value stores across Dublin. We're also in a wide variety of shops in Dún Laoghaire, so local coffee shops. We've taken more grinds from them and we're turning them into bars. And we're also exploring a corporate route, so we're working with companies on taking their coffee grinds from their work canteens, and then they're gifting it to their staff as an initiative to show their sustainability.
It's like real recycling here, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's
Stopping
I know,
food
it
waste.
excites me because I almost feel like I'm on Dragon's Den here at the moment, listening to the two of you talking about how this all started, because I love to see young people in particular, and you are young in comparison to me, by the way. I love to see young people, getting involved, entrepreneurship, and getting something out there and getting it to a market and it actually doing well. That's something that people want, because the whole skincare business is massive. It's $1 billion industry, $1 trillion industry, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's not easy to break into. So when we were doing it in COVID, we didn't realise the licensing behind it and everything that was involved in actually getting a product onto the shelf.
Yeah, to even sell it, you have to have all this legislation, you have to have all this testing done to prove that it's a viable product and that it actually is safe to use. And I'm 19 and so I was 21. So obviously we didn't know any of this going in. I mean, we both do business in college, but you don't learn about all that. So it was like a whole new world for us. But it's such a learning curve, and to be so young, to have all that experience, it's just kind of invaluable. Like, I
So
can't even believe it.
who is the original guinea pig that had to rub it on their face and hope that nothing bad happened?
It was me.
It was and our dad.
Because of course there's always that risk. So I'm assuming that's what the testing is for, to make sure that it doesn't do any harm to anybody.
Exactly, yeah.
And to show that it actually is a good exfoliator, because our bar, it's an exfoliating bar. So what we find is that with regular exfoliators, they're water-soluble ingredients. They're sugar or salt. So you're using a lot. It's just dissolving on your skin. And it's also a natural, like, rigid shape. But with the coffee grinds, you get a way better exfoliation. It's just a natural round shape. And obviously it's not dissolving in the shower. So you get...
And what was the one that was out years ago that they kind of banned? Remember it used to have the little balls inside it? There wasn't
The
one?
micro.
The microplastics, yeah.
Is that
was
still
awful, yeah.
available, or is that gone? Is that banned now?
I think some of them still do have microplastics in them. You'd be really surprised what people can get away with, you know?
Yeah,
That's kind of what we have, the whole, like, sustainability. And
Aspect.
all of our exfoliation comes from the coffee grinds. So, like, it's completely circular economy. It's completely repurposed.
Yeah.
And when you're going into this business, of course, you're going up against the big, the big players, the Revlons
Yeah.
of this world and all of these. I mean, that must be tough to go into a business where there's other people in there who are going to take 99% of the pie. And even, by the way, if you get 1% of that pie, you're going to make money.
Yeah, listen, if you're getting 1% of the pie, I'd be very happy.
Yeah.
But no, I think that we found that the sustainability aspect, the fact we're taking coffee grinds and we're repurposing them, gives us a different avenue.
Exactly. And not to toot our own horns, but our product isn't really like anything that is out there at the moment. Like, it is something unique, and
And
haven't
everybody
really seen
says
anything
that.
like
What's the USP? Isn't that what everybody says?
Yeah,
What's the
exactly.
USP?
The USP is the coffee grinds.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. It's turning a waste product into something brand new. That's kind of, what we're really focused on. And it's really cool to be able to do that, like to actually see something that's waste and that's going to be thrown in the bin and turn it into a brand new product that actually really works and that I enjoy myself, and I know Sive does.
Yeah.
So, and is there going to be other products at the moment? Of course, it's, the soap and the skincare products. Are you going to branch out into other products as well? Do you envisage a shop in the future with, many different products that are all made from coffee beans or made sustainably like that?
Well, I actually saw a video the other day of glasses frames being made out of coffee grinds, so you never know.
Right.
Glasses and
See,
bottles.
she's
and
thinking
the lot.
ahead. She's thinking ahead
She
here.
is. She's
It'll
got
be
the business
cars.
mindset.
It'll be cars this time next year. We'll make a car out of coffee beans. Because, of course, coffee beans, the actual shell of the coffee bean is quite hard, isn't it?
Yeah. And also, everyone drinks coffee. Like, there's so much coffee in the world.
Well, I don't. No, I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I had one cup of coffee about 10 years ago and I hate it. I'm a tea person personally myself, so I'm sure you can't make it out of tea leaves. Although maybe there's an idea. Ashling's
Well, maybe.
mind is starting to go. Tea leaves. Maybe we can make shampoo out of tea leaves. But
Write
yeah,
that down, Sive.
yeah, I never liked the taste of coffee. I don't get the attraction, but a lot of people like it. I know, and it is quite popular. And people, and you're right, they just throw the stuff away. It's turfed out.
Yeah.
Hopefully into their little green bin and not
Exactly.
anywhere else. So,
Or even
are
better
you,
to us.
Yeah, exactly. We'll take it, guys. Like,
are you taking donations? By the way, yeah.
Well, we're open to stocking any more coffee shops or any shops that want to take us and give us their grinds.
yeah, we're always
it's-
looking for more grinds.
Yeah, and is there anywhere in the world that, if, for example, if the business expands, which hopefully it will for you, and you start running out of places to source the grinds, i.e., the coffee shops that don't, the baristas and all those that give them away or throw them out, is there a place somewhere in the world where you can actually buy the coffee grinds or the shells, so to say?
I think that would kind of almost defeat the purpose, like there is so much coffee grinds, and also like you'd be surprised. I work as a barista actually when I'm not doing all this, very busy girl, but like I see the amount of coffee that gets thrown out from where I'm working from one shop, and our shop, even on a quiet day, it's so much. Honestly, I couldn't even imagine us running out of places to get coffee grinds, because it's just like there's an endless supply.
Yeah, but see, at the moment you're looking at it as a small homegrown business, which is what it is at the moment. But if you became international,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
again,
yeah.
I see Ashling's eyes lighting up there.
Yeah.
If this became international and you were, distributing worldwide, well, then you're going to have to, I suppose, look worldwide.
Yeah. Well,
I'm assuming that's the plan, is it?
Definitely. I mean,
yeah. We'll see how far we can go.
exactly.
Be ambitious, Aisling. Be ambitious, son.
But even
Think
in terms
worldwide.
in terms of the corporate companies we've worked with, think about how many corporate companies are in Ireland, and we've only taken like a handful of their grinds. So
Yeah.
in terms of that, I don't think we'll be running out anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, how important is the sustainability aspect, I suppose, of this to both of you? Is that something that's really important to you?
Well-
or is it just because it's a good seller to do that? And we're going to be honest here. It is a good thing. It's a good selling point, isn't it, too?
No, it 100% is, especially for our generation. It's such an important thing to us nowadays. But also, our dad is actually an environmental consultant, so he works in sustainability and he has his whole
Okay.
life. So we've grown up always like turn off the lights, don't hurt the trees, all this stuff.
Sounds like my father, but for different reasons. He was just scared about the bill.
But yeah, we've grown up with that our whole lives, with a real focus on sustainability in our family, just being really aware of it. And I think now in schools, you can't escape it. You can't escape climate change. Being on social media so much like young people are, there's so much information about it that you can really make yourself aware. So I think anybody our age, it's going to be on their mind, and especially for us. So it is definitely a really good selling point, and people are really interested in it. But it's really important. And to actually do something and see a small way you're making an impact, it's really rewarding, I find.
And who's the brains?
I think we're both the brains.
Yeah.
That's a fair
it, like-
answer. That's,
yeah, we have to
at least
keep
that
it
won't cause a
50-50,
row
yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
But yeah,
Ashley
keep
is
it
even
civil.
staff. I don't know about that now, maybe she's overstating herself here now. Who looks after the social media, by the way, or do you both do it? Because I'm
both
assuming
do it.
We both do it. Yeah, obviously like we're both young, so we have.
It was
how
kind
to
of
use social
ingrained
media.
in us
Exactly.
to be able to run an Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. But it is a lot of work. It really is like a
Oh, it is. I know
job.
from working in
Yeah.
radio. I mean, social media and radio is a massive part of radio now as well. So we have a great understanding of that. And that, you're right, in itself is a job. And a lot of places would have a social media person just to do the social media.
Exactly.
Because you got to stay on top of it. How is it going with the social media? Is it garnering much support, followers, everything else?
It's going quite well. I mean, we definitely see influxes of followings when we do certain things, like, maybe being on the radio, people might want to follow us if they want
Well,
to.
you're welcome to give out your Instagram account there. Yeah, at any stage, you're welcome. Take the opportunity.
Well, it's beanaround_IE on Instagram.
So
if
bean
you
is
wanna
in like a
follow us-
coffee bean.
Yeah,
B-E-A-N.
BEAN
Yeah.
around.
Okay. And Jane
even-
will put that up onto our Instagram and onto our Classic Hits Twitter and Facebook as well. So that might just kind of give you a little bit of a boost. I don't know whether or not.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever had a negative reaction to their young age, to your young age? I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have a negative reaction. I think it's wonderful. But do you get a negative reaction where people are going, "Oh, you're a bit young, aren't you?" Do we kind of pushing something on us?
I don't think there's been a negative reaction, but I think almost within ourselves, we kind of feel like we have to prove ourselves more
Yeah.
because we're younger. So we kind of feel like we have to always be very professional. Or we
Yeah.
have to be very, so that people don't take us more serious because
we nearly have to compensate for what we've done for our age.
Yeah,
So we have
exactly.
to tell the whole story before anyone can make an
Yeah.
impression.
And have you been on other media or how did that go for you?
Yeah. So we've been on FM 104 and we've also been on 2FM. So we had a slot on the Ryan Tubridy show a few weeks ago. So that was
Right.
great fun.
I wouldn't say it'd be great fun right at this very moment in time, but he is a nice guy. He is a very nice guy.
Yeah.
In fairness, did Ryan test out the skincare products?
No, not currently, but hopefully does
I'm
soon
sure
when he gets
he's
back
getting
to
to
us.
it, you
yeah.
know.
I'm sure but at this moment in time, I'm sure he's more important things to be worried about than skincare products. But I'm sure he might get around to it eventually. Yeah, I mean, that part of it, of course, when you're new, giving away a lot of samples constantly all the time, that's an expensive part of the business initially at the start. And of course, you're well aware, when you start business, you're going to make losses for, probably a few years.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
prepared for that? Are you able for that?
Well, we're going very incrementally, so we're not taking on any more than we can handle at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a family thing. Like, it's me and Sive. There's only a certain amount we can do. But we haven't really... I mean, the samples are an important thing to give out. People... It's a new product. People don't know what we are. So we want people to be testing it out. And when people do test it out, we find that they really like it and they're
Yeah.
coming back and buying another one.
And we've gotten great feedback so far, so it's just getting to that stage of where we take it to the next level.
Yeah, and
So
we're really
if-
able to boost our business and create awareness. I think awareness is the biggest thing. This past year has really been about creating awareness and actually just figuring out who we are as a brand and, even working on packaging, working on like what's important to us.
What is important to you? And I assuming you disagree on certain things, or do you always agree with each other?
Well, we're sisters,
Yeah.
so it'd be
I
very
think that says it all.
presumptuous to say we
Yeah,
get
well,
on.
that shouldn't. Yeah, that makes it worse, doesn't it? Really? Sibling rivalry. But I mean, do you generally always agree, on the direction you're going, or have you had disagreements in relation to what we should be doing?
I think that if we both didn't have disagreements, we wouldn't progress as strongly. If we both
Exactly.
agreed on everything, there's not as much perspective.
Yeah.
So I feel like where we disagree usually pushes us in a better direction once we come to, a conclusion.
And I feel like we have disagreements, but we always come to an agreement in the end. But we've never come to a place where we're like, we actually can't get past this. We always come up with the solution. There's not been anything significant that's
So
like-
you've never stormed away from each other in a huff with your stamping your
Well,
feet
I'm
and
sure
going,
we've
"Well,
done
that's it.
that,
You're on your own. Take your coffee beans and shove them. I'm off." I mean, what about celebrity endorsements? I suppose nowadays, the main way of boosting a product is celebrity endorsements. I mean, one tweet from a Kardashian will put you on the map or something like that. The two of you were smiling there thinking to yourself, that's it, if we could just get a Kardashian to
Yeah,
on our
only a
face for 5 minutes.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
That would send us. But we've reached out to a few influencers on social media. It definitely is hard to find once you want to collaborate with such a small business. But we have worked with a couple of people, and they're really nice and posted us on their stories and everything. And obviously that's great just to see the support.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have the support there, but it's not our main focus at the moment.
Yeah, because I suppose business has changed over the last, since I was young, and I was in business many, many years ago, and there was different way you used to advertise in newspapers at the time and then hope you might get an interview on television or radio or whatever it was. Whereas nowadays it's all about endorsement. It's all about getting, the people who are looked up to by young people, to see them holding the product or using the product. And I suppose that's really the way to get it out there now, isn't it? And social media, of course, plays a massive role. That Stephen Bartlett has written a great book in relation to that. I don't know whether you've read his book or not. And he's an expert in social media. And he's now a multimillionaire. He's one of the guys on the Dragon's Den. And I think the social media is really is the main thing. And I suppose that's what you need to focus on, isn't it?
Yeah, and social media has even evolved since we've been using it. Like when I joined Instagram, it was a case that, everyone reshared your post on their story. It was really easy to get people to engage with you. And just growing a following was much easier because people didn't really care as much about what they were putting on their story. Followers were like more for, businesses rather than your personal following. So now it's shifted and everyone cares about what they're putting on their stories. It's harder to get people to share your posts and things, and like that's a shift that we have to work with.
We've seen that too in media too, particularly with Facebook, which is becoming less popular I suppose now, and people tend not to share stuff as much. They'd same on Twitter. You'll see the kind of influencers tend not to retweet. They just tend to put their own tweets up and not to unless it's exceptional. They don't. And and if you can get that kind of stuff, I suppose that's good for business.
Yeah.
So how big do you see this going?
Hopefully Ireland-wide would be perfect for the
definitely.
moment. And then if we could get it across Europe and then hopefully international
I think
across the world.
we're not saying like, oh, we wanted to get it here and then we wanted to get it there.
There's
'Cause
no
I think-
finite point.
Exactly. We're just seeing where it can take us. Like it's still quite new, but it's really been like an amazing journey the past year. Just kind of like finding our footing and learning so much about business and about what goes in, even about how you do deliveries and all that. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much that you wouldn't think about
Yeah.
that we've had to kind of figure out this year that almost we haven't had time to think, oh, where's it going next? It's just kind of blowing up in front of us and we have to like run to catch up. But it's been really great. It's been amazing. And then, it's just like kind of seeing where that takes us and in the next year what will happen. And, maybe we'll be back here next year and we'll be saying,
Yeah.
we'll be multimillionaires at that point. And,
We'll
Well, I
tell you
I
our
suppose-
secret.
yeah, and it won't
Yeah,
be a paid advertisement this time, and then we'll have a problem.
What you need is that you need the video to go viral, don't you? You need something that's going to go viral. So
Exactly.
you need
Yeah.
somebody doing something bonkers with your skin.
Yeah. We're hoping for it. We have our online shop ready for the viral video.
Yeah.
And have you got a plan to go viral? Because everybody kind of sets up the viral video, don't they? I mean, have you thought about that, about how to get that one? Because it is the one viral video that will launch you, that really will launch you. Have you thought about how to set that up, or have you got a plan for that? I know you might want to give the game away, but
Well, I think TikTok would definitely
yeah.
be the way to go. If you just post the right video, get the right audience on TikTok, you can have your business set up for you. So
I've just thought of it. I've thought of it. what you need to do is one of you lying on the ground doing a snow angel on the cream.
Perfect.
Yeah, that should get you a couple of... it's surprising the things that get a couple of million hits.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a video the other day and it was a woman and she was emptying a bag of, the polystyrene balls that you fill teddies with.
Yeah.
And she's emptying 2 or 3 bags of these on her sitting room floor and then she put a Christmas hat on her and it looked like it was snowing in her room. And it was like about 10 seconds long and it had like 3 million views.
Yeah.
And I go, for what? Like,
Honestly, I'd watch that.
see what I mean? Maybe you could fill a front room with the skin cream or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe you should think about that.
Honestly.
Somebody says, Niall, you're right, a snow angel with coffee. Joe says, by the way, these ladies should run the country. I think they'd be far better than some of the people who are running at the moment. Sandra says coffee grinds are good for the garden as well. Oh, I didn't know that. Did you
Yeah,
know anything
that's
about coffee?
true. Yeah, but the only thing is that if you use a lot of it, see, coffee's just naturally quite acidic, so you can use so much of it, and then you really shouldn't use any more for a good while.
And change the
Well,
pH
kill the
of
grass, kill the
soil.
plants, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Well, I'd rather you didn't throw it in the garden. Give it to the girls. They'll use it.
Exactly.
exactly, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Save your gardens.
Alex just wants to step in to say, by the way, that she got 2 of the bars.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, so obviously she's funding your lifestyle. She funded your taxi fare in tonight or whatever, whatever it is. So the next step now is, so at the moment it's a homegrown business.
Yeah.
So it's small. So the next step is, obviously, have you managed to get it into many stores yet, or?
Well, we're currently, we obviously have a few stores in the Super Value. So we did the Super Value Food Academy and we're stocking about 10 stores around Dublin and we're in Navan as well.
We're mostly on the south side with the Super Value stores. We're stocking Palmerstown, and then the rest are pretty
South
much like
side.
in the Dún Laoghaire area. So Dún Laoghaire, Killiney, Monkstown, Mount Marion, that kind of area, Blackrock.
And we're constantly looking for new coffee shops. So
Oh, yeah,
mainly
definitely.
the focus would be, we've stocked multiple coffee shops mainly around Dún Laoghaire, but we're looking to expand that. And also we have the online orders, which hopefully, if we do get our viral video,
When we
well,
do get our viral video.
Yeah,
Well,
there's never an if in business. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
okay. When?
When.
Yeah.
You will get it.
Yeah, and then we'll try and get into more shops. But the shops in Dún Laoghaire are doing great. Like, we're in a shop called JJ Darboven, and it's across from the St. Michael's Hospital. And we're actually finding that nurses are buying our soaps because, like, instead of washing their hands with chemicals all day, when they go home, it actually makes their hands really soft
Okay.
from the exfoliation. So
Yeah.
nurses are buying that because they're obviously using harsh chemicals. They're constantly washing their hands and their hands get quite dry. So, I mean, it's been great, and we've really, like, all the
we've
shops
had
are
great
in.
feedback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really picked up recently. When we first started stocking, it'd be like we deliver a few bars every 2 months even.
Yeah.
And now it's gotten way quicker, and people are really buying, like, a lot of repeat customers, I think, is what we're
And
we're
how
finding.
quickly can you produce these bars, by the way? Are you going to run into problems if you become busy all of a sudden?
No, I think we still have more capability with what we're currently doing. So
Yeah. And we have so much support. We really have so much support from our family and from our parents, and they're so great. And like, we have a million aunts, and they're all supporting us as
Exactly,
well.
yeah.
So is this like some little industry? Are they all producing the soaps as well?
Not yet, but if
Not
we,
yet. Well,
we
we'll
have
get them.
backup.
We'll get them on the line. They'll be producing it.
Sinead, by the way, says, my hands are destroyed from all the hand sanitizer during COVID. This sounds great. Well, I imagine, yeah, everybody's hands kind of got destroyed from using hand
Oh, yeah.
sanitizer. I remember one of the girls I worked here, her hands actually, it was like a psoriasis on her hands.
Yeah.
Because during the start of COVID, when everybody went a bit wash your hands mad, she was washing her hands every 5 minutes. She had the skin washed off her hands.
Yeah.
And her hands were sore constantly all the time. Are these girls single? My son needs a girlfriend. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you can ask me. They have a choice to answer that question if they want to.
So I'm
yes.
very married off, I think.
Yeah, they'd be a good catch. Yeah, you're right. Because they could be millionairesses very, very soon.
if he's a millionaire, tell him I may be open.
Could you handle... See, here's the thing about being business too. Do you think you could handle success and stay grounded, pardon the pun?
I think because we have that family element there, we're always going to stay grounded. You know, we always can, check each other and say, like, Sive, okay, you're getting a bit of a big head, or Aisling, like,
Pull back
not
a
that
bit there.
great. Yeah. I think we really can hold each other accountable for that. And like I said, we just have so much support around us as well, that I feel like through this whole thing, I don't even really think of us as like super successful, even though we've been great. But I think that's the thing for Irish women as well. We don't want to, big
Yeah, because
ourselves
what
up.
happens to people sometimes in business like yourselves is they become successful and then they expand too quickly and become
Yeah.
too successful and then they lose the run themselves. And that's unfortunately what fails and why many businesses fail in the end, is because people lose the run themselves and they try to expand too quickly. It's happened so many times. And you have to stay grounded,
Yeah.
and understand and expand as... I'm not saying expand slowly, but I mean, if the business comes your way, just take it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's knowing how to expand as well, because if you get into a situation where suddenly you get 10,000 orders,
Exactly.
you need a plan.
I think that we are happy with where we are, and we're happy that we're growing. Now,
Exactly.
there's we don't put a huge amount of pressure on ourselves that this is what we have to do by this time, and this
Yeah.
is how big we have to. It's a very we're grateful for where we are, and we're grateful for where we're going, and I feel like that's probably a key to not expanding too quickly and not pushing the boat out when it's before it's ready
And we know what we can do. We know what we're capable of, and we know what's unrealistic for us.
at the moment.
And also, we both study business, so we also are getting that kind of education on how to expand your business as well. Like, we're so fortunate to have the real life experience, and also being able to study it in college. So I think altogether, I mean, I see it going
Pretty
far,
well.
but
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, apart from standing in a shop looking at a Burberry bag?
on a
Where-
yacht,
where do you-
yeah, on a
where
yacht
do you
somewhere in
see-
Dubai, maybe.
But we're so grounded.
No, but we're so humble. But
Where do you see yourselves in 5 years? Do you see yourself with a lot of shops with your own brand name on a shop, or are you happy just to be the supplier to supply into other shops?
I think that do you know the fake tan brand Coco Brown?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you know the fake tan brand Coco Brown, we want to be like that.
Exactly.
As big as Coco Brown.
Yeah. Well, her break, of course, was one of the Kardashians using her product, wasn't it? That was her big break.
Yeah, we
I
just
think.
need a Kardashian
yeah,
now.
we do need a Kardashian.
I'm not too sure which Kardashian. It was one of the Kardashians, one of the younger Kardashians. I don't know if it was Chloe. Is that? I'm not good at the names. But I think it was literally she Instagrammed or tweeted or something that this was the brand she used.
Wow.
And literally overnight, she was already successful, reasonably successful, but it became mega successful
Yeah.
overnight.
Well, hopefully one of the Kardashians is listening in.
And have you sent samples off to people, like the Kardashians, people like models or big influencers online? I don't mean the Mickey Mouse ones from Ireland. I'm talking about the big ones.
It's hard because they're all with agencies to get
Yeah.
anything into an inbox and to actually find where to send the samples, because usually when you contact them, it's
Find
contact
out where
them.
they live and stick it in their letterbox.
We'll have to go on a world tour and
Honestly.
bring loads of samples.
Yeah, I think a lot of influencers now, it really is a business.
Yeah.
They themselves are the business, so they're not doing posts unless they're being paid for it, and being paid a lot of money for it, because that's all their income is coming from. And we obviously are small, and I mean, I don't know if we have the money to be paying the biggest influencers to do a
Yeah.
sponsored post, but I mean, that's all down the line. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll get to a point where we'll be able to do that, and But for the moment, we've reached out to a few Irish influencers and sent them bars, and they've been great and posted us on their social media,
Yeah.
just for free, just out of because of
Yeah, just because they like the product.
exactly. So we've done a few of them, and then but yeah, I mean, influencers are really the way to go. We always talk about it.
So he says, these ladies sound very smart. I'm in the pub trade, 32 years. What is something I should get into on social media? Can they recommend an old codger, Jim in Cork?
I
I
think
think-
definitely TikTok.
TikTok or Instagram. I think not a lot of people, surprisingly, have Instagram pages for their businesses. It's more Facebook, and I don't even have Facebook. All my social media would be Instagram, TikTok. So I think definitely having an Instagram page.
But the problem with both of those, in comparison to, say, Twitter and Facebook, is you can't put a link to your product. Isn't that the problem with, say, Instagram? You can't put a website address on it or a
You
link on it.
can now. So you can
Yeah.
put, we have a link to our website in our bio. So when you
In
click
your
onto
bio
our
you can.
page, yeah.
Yes.
And then if you do a
An
paid
app- a
post,
yeah.
you can have it. There's a shop now button, and then it will bring you to the page. So there's
okay.
certain ways. It's just, but I know myself, if I'm going to a restaurant or going to a pub or something, I'm going to look it up before. I want to check the
100%,
Instagram. I want to
yeah.
see what they have to offer. It's kind of a toxic trait, but
Yeah.
So
No,
to our
exactly.
bar owner, you would recommend TikTok. Do some sort of silly video
Yeah,
in the pub
exactly.
of everybody
People-
singing or something like that.
Yeah, people love that. Even just seeing like local businesses,
Yeah.
local shops. I love watching the local centres.
or
sitting
even
there.
loads of Marks and Spencer's videos. Like
Yeah.
Marks and Spencer's in like Cambridge is coming up on my TikTok, and
Yeah.
they're doing a funny video, and I'm watching it and liking it.
Exactly.
It's just astonishing how the world has changed and how social media is really it. I mean, years ago, as I said to you, it was just advertising in newspapers and magazines. That all seems to be gone to some degree. You can still do it, but it doesn't seem to be as effective. To reach the wider market, really, it's having that hit on social media that's going to do it for you. Well, look, girls, I have to say, it's been intriguing talking to you. And I wish you all the best of success. Give out whatever details you need to give out. And so the name of the product is Bean Around, spelled BEAN. And have you got a website?
Yes,
We
so
do have our website, yeah.
you can get a link to our website and to our online shop on our Instagram. So it's been around underscore IE.
So it's BEAN around _IE.
Real people, real opinions, real talk radio. The multi-award winning Niall Boylan Show.